No, Insecure make me happy that I'm married. That's all I get. Like, I'd be like, it look rough out. Like, and I hear some of my singles, like, they'll be like, it's just, dating out here is rough.
Yeah, it's rough.
I always compare it to a game of musical chairs because, like, once you hit like early 30s, like then it's just everybody trying to find a seat, pushing people out the way, catching the chair up.
Like, people. Hey, can we get along long enough to stay together? That's how some people get. I'm glad I ain't there. But I was a young
Molly and the Asian dude.
Honestly, Molly fought harder for him than she. Wait, are we recording?
I just started. Yep.
All right. Yeah, Molly fought harder for him than she did for Issa, and that's what really pissed me off. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Like,
Supposed to be your best friend.
But you gonna okay.
And I think like I ain't like that they didn't show us their conversation. Like that was the most important thing. Like, you can't just like fade out on that. Like we need to see the resolution. Like
yeah, I think it was very important though that they did say that Molly initiated the meetup. That was pretty good to know. But
that was good.
This might have been my favorite season of Insecure.
Yeah.
I was just talking about that the other day. I was like, what would you rank like your favorite season? I think hers is season 2, but I was like, season 4. She said season 4 was number 2. I was like, yeah, this has been a really, really good season.
It's the first one that felt like coherent all the way through.
Like,
like the other ones just felt kind of like not a random collection of stories, but like there wasn't like that real through line through the entire thing. Like this one felt like a narrative from beginning to end.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
It was crafted very well, and they had 2 extra episodes too. And and also the show, like maybe this is my first time just really appreciating, but man, that show is shot beautifully. Like every director they be getting,
they shoot dark skin very well.
Yep.
Man,
I think I was seeing something that said that they use like a lot of purples and like
blues and stuff like that. Yeah,
blues and purples.
The hot tub.
Yeah, man, it was a good season. I'm not gonna start the show off, before we even get into it with spoilers and stuff, because people, they ain't come here to hear Insecure. They're gonna be like, I thought I'd be safe from the spoilers with Tech File out here telling me.
We will have a conversation.
But yes, it was a great season. I'm trying to get the mayor to watch. He's never watched Insecure. He just wasn't.
Now one episode.
He's seen me watching it, like he's been in it, but he was never like
into it.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Yeah.
But as this season was going on, I was telling him like this season made me think like the payoff will be worth it. Like you might not enjoy the first season or 2 as much.
Yeah, everything's.
But as you'll actually enjoy this past season. So we're gonna end up binge watching that soon. So, anyways, let's get into the show. Welcome to episode 153 of Technical File, the sports podcast you never knew you needed.
It's your boy TIMKINZB number 3, aka Ass Ketchum, aka Mr. Give It To Me. I hope y'all doing well this week.
I am the Eric J.
Only known as
the Eric J.
That ain't show that. Hold on.
I know. I came in. I was intrigued, and I'm sorry. I ain't mean to piss on your porch like that. So let me go ahead and wipe that up. And we're going to backtrack.
Look, he happy.
It's your boy, TIMKINZB, number 3, a.k.a. Mr. Gibson.
So you guys have been exposed to Tim with the Crowd. You've met Tequila Tim.
Yeah.
You met Party Time Tim.
Yeah.
Now we got Tim with a haircut.
Haircut Tim.
What the fuck?
Fresh out the chair.
Fresh out the quarantine.
He improved his lighting and shit.
On the real, like a totally different person. I swear.
Let me find out you got one of them LED rings.
Nah, hey Loki, there's a vanity and the bulbs don't work, but I sure was like, man, I'm gonna set this vanity and turn these lights on.
Why not?
I didn't know.
See, pretty
I
now.
can't find the cord to connect turn it on.
Look at it,
I can't find an AC power adapter. To plug into the wall.
Phone charge. Look at him.
Well, better than usual.
Anyways.
All right, through our intro.
That's a D, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I'm Camille, point guard of the crew, the real life Tifa Lockhart, the girl next door, holding it down for all the women who love sports. And normally this is when you would hear.
Okay, here's the gentleman.
The gentleman. You ain't gonna finish this?
Damn.
You forgot.
Yeah, you forgot.
I forgot it.
Everyday gentleman.
24/7. But better known as
K. Diddy.
That's not how it go. Anyway, y'all, Ken ain't with us this week. Send some love out to the mans, but he'll be back. Be back soon. So we got Dooch. We got Dooch in.
Mm-hmm.
Dooch. 6th man of the year for Tech File. Dooch.
Since there ain't that much sports going on, I can jump on.
It ain't much sports going on. It's sports going on, but it ain't much sports going on.
It ain't much sports.
No, this is more like social commentary this week.
Yeah,
this is
exactly.
Last week we had a couple contract stuff to talk about and playoff teams. Nah, this week is social commentary.
Yeah.
Anyways, Tim, will you tell the people where they can find us on social media in case they're looking for us?
Sure. You can find us on the Instagram and the Twitter at Technical File. You can also find us on Facebook at Technical File Podcast. We also have a Facebook group, Technical File Pod Overtime, where you can join in with the listeners, fans, and fam. But don't forget, slide on over to www.technicalfile.com and don't forget to put the K on that motherfucker. Thank you.
I like your
Hey, listen, I was in the movie, dog.
Rolling with the homies.
That is the hand motion. Rolling with the homies.
Oh, that's funny.
Anywho, this is normally
I can't say every way, man.
Yeah, on the real.
Hey, we say it.
Tim.
Tell your neighbor, your sister dog, the cat that came in with the mouse. Tell that mouse to go ahead and tell his friends too. And everybody else, go ahead and listen to Tech 5. I think that's how it go, right?
I think so.
No.
Pretty much. Pretty much. That's good enough for Tim. Yeah, make sure you guys tell people about us. We don't grow without y'all. People listen to y'all more than they listen to us because we own the show, so they think we being biased. So we need y'all to tell people that we cold because we cold. So spread the show. Show us some love. Let people know.
Next time you're out there with your mask on at the grocery store, whisper to them. Don't get too close. Just whisper to them.
No, don't whisper to nobody.
You might have
Listen
more
to
than
Tech
whisper.
5.
That's too close. You gotta be too close to whisper. You gotta be 6 feet. You can't whisper from 6 feet.
I can whisper loud.
You have a microphone. Ring the bell. What do you want? What are you on?
Hold on.
There you go. Tech File Challenge, you know what I miss? I miss seeing people like live tweet the show. I used to enjoy that. Like people talk along with us.
Yeah.
Even though it's like a day later. So do that.
You know what? I'll live tweet the show tomorrow as I'm listening to it too.
You know what?
It's gonna be a brand new show to Tim. Like I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I will too.
I'll
do the same. I will do the Tech File Challenge this week as well. I will live tweet as I'm listening through it.
What's the hashtag?
They can just
make up one.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're gonna continue, keep it a thread.
Oh, wait,
on Twitter.
We gotta know that they're listening. So what's our hashtag this week? We're gonna have them hashtag something.
Tech File Challenge.
Right.
Okay. There you got it. And there you have it.
That was a good Ken impression. That was a good Ken impression.
But wherever you find podcasts, you can find us. That includes Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud.
Okay.
Stitcher.
Spotify. Do your stitching?
Oh.
It's too late.
Spotify. Y'all off. You need Ken for this work. Himalaya.
Like a player.
Wooshka.
Wooshka.
And wherever
We
you're
finished
listening to
strong.
this episode right now, while there, make sure that you like, subscribe, rate, and review. 5 stars or better. It helps us, and we appreciate you.
For sure. T-shirts. Everybody, I believe, should have received T-shirts. Most people.
Everybody has at least received a notification that they need to send me their information so it can get dropped off.
There we go. Okay.
Actually,
okay.
Dude ain't get his yet, so my bad.
I ain't in a rush. I don't do nothing but sit. I sit on them anyways till the perfect time.
Makes sense.
My shoe collection. But yeah, so if you have not yet received your shirt, please email us technicalfilepod@gmail.com and it'll get to you.
For sure. And thank you to everybody who's gotten their shirt and put it on social media and whatnot. We definitely appreciate that. If y'all when y'all wear y'all shirt, make sure y'all tag us. Or if you opening it, tag us. We love to see that. That's what's up. All right. Before we get into the topics of the week, let's shout out the top listening cities from the past week. So, fellas, get ready to say hi to some cities. You know, Ken normally is the leader of saying hi to the people. Number 1, again, Stoughton, Wisconsin came through and took it from Milwaukee again.
That's crazy, though.
Shout out Stoughton. Y'all number 1 fans.
Yeah.
Stoughton out here feeling us right now. That's cool. That's what's up.
We're
Number 2
have
is
a Rep Your City technical file challenge coming soon.
Real.
We got to. I need to know where these listeners are at.
Yeah.
Especially the ones who interact with us a lot. I need to know what cities you in. Number 2, we got Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the hometown. Shout out.
That's crazy that they're not number 1.
It's crazy.
Stoughton out here. Shout out to Stoughton.
Number 3 is Grand Island, New York. That's a new city. That's a shout out. Shout out to Grand Island.
Yeah.
I had to look it up. It's close to Niagara Falls.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you cut out. It was like it was secret information. I didn't even hear the answer.
Oh,
Niagara Falls.
Bob, yeah.
That's interesting. Okay.
Beautiful there.
Number 4. Tim, before I say what number 4 is, just take a deep breath, okay? Number 4 is Paris, France.
Talk about it.
Oui. You came back. We appreciate you.
France is number 4 from all listeners, so that's tight to have an international
Yeah.
in the top 10 for the week. Number 5, we got Fresno, Texas. Shout out. Number 6, we got Houston, Texas.
H-Town down.
Yeah, shout out to Houston.
Number 7, we got Chicago, Illinois.
Shout out.
Number 8, we got Minneapolis, Minnesota.
It get cold in Minnesota.
Number 9, we got Honolulu, Hawaii.
Talk about it.
I like that. I like that.
That's Hawaii.
No.
Number 10, you've been to Hawaii, haven't you? Was you there for the military?
Mm-hmm. It was
That's what
beautiful.
I thought. Number 10 is Framingham, Massachusetts.
Okay, Framingham. I ain't even heard of y'all. I'm gonna have to Google that too.
Put y'all on the tech file map. I ain't heard of Framingham. But shout out to y'all. I'm gonna shout out the international listeners. It look like some of y'all looking up where that is, so I'm curious to know. International listeners from the past week: France, of course, Singapore. Shout out Spain. Shout out as always Spain. You be consistent. Shout out Spain and Ireland.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, let's get into these topics for the week.
Did we have McGregor on there? Retired?
No, we can talk. I mean, we can just, Conor McGregor retired.
Did he?
Quote unquote. That's our first news story of the week.
I did not know that.
About 2 weeks ago, I believe it wasn't recent. Like it's been a little time, but yeah, he retired. But I don't consider him to ever be retired because
he's just
trying to get more money out of.
Exactly.
But
Now,
they talking about AEW and WWE are already kind of like circling the waters. And shit.
of course.
Yeah.
Of course. When I saw Tyson on AEW, I was like, same song.
Hey, but
I mean, he did basically the same thing, didn't
It was the exact same thing.
he? Yeah.
Yeah, same song.
Tony Khan got money, so he can bring celebrities out if he need to.
He can. So if you are a Tech File fan or Tech File fam, meaning you've listened to us a few times before, you're not a listener, it's not your first time here, you know that we generally go through our topics and then we will go into a blow the whistle if someone has offended us, in the past week. We're going to change it up a little bit because the blow the whistle has to happen now because it relates to the first topic on our list. And I just got to get this off. Yeah. So, Dooch, will you cue the blow the whistle drop?
All right, now that's enough out of you. You know what? Tee his ass up.
Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. stealing.
Stephen A. stealing. Not only do you steal from Tech File, but then you get on First Take and you just spewing some ignorant stuff. Boy. Okay, so in case y'all missed it, Stephen A. Smith went on First Take and they were discussing our first news story of the week, which is about Kyrie Irving pretty much starting a players coalition about not playing and trying to, we'll go into the details. Yeah. Gist of it, though, Kyrie was kind of like, hey, might not want to play this season, might be far more important things going on. Let's talk about that. Stephen A. Smith, though, he said, I'm paraphrasing, but the gist of his conversation on First Take was that, hey, if NBA players don't want to go to Orlando and because of coronavirus and they're scared of what might happen, I completely understand that. That's cool. Go on ahead. Hey, respect. But now, if you don't want to come to Orlando because of the civil unrest in the country, because you want to protest, that's stupid. Like, why would you do that? Like, what? And he tried to use some like factual information in a twisted way to make his point, such as like Black folks have been, facing prejudice and racism since they came out the womb. Like, it's like, yes, that is true, sir. That is true. Exactly. But like, how can you understand the nuance that if players don't want to come and play because they might get sick, that's okay. But you understand the nuance that players don't want to be seen as being part of a distraction from what's going on. Because you need to realize it will be. Part of why we're even here is because there is nothing else to do.
That's a fact.
We got hit with a pandemic. We were all inside. People were upset about being inside. Then all the sports got canceled. Sports is number one unifier. It is the number one escape. It's my favorite escape. That's why we got this podcast. I love sports. They're great. Okay? They are great. And then you see another Black man get killed after a couple other high profile cases. Yeah. You had the whole run with a mob. Breonna Taylor. Things were happening. This sparked something in this country. It is people who you never thought would be saying Black Lives Matter, saying Black Lives Matter. There are people who finally get it. Okay? Yeah. That probably would not have happened if things were still operating as normal.
That's a fact.
The point that Kyrie and them are trying to make is that let's not go back to normal and let this die down. Mm-hmm. How can you not understand that or respect that position? That's my only, I'm not saying I disagree with what I want. We're going to talk about what we feel about those statements or whatever, but to understand that players might not want to play because they might get sick, but to not understand that players might not want to play because they're sick of what's going on and they have an opportunity to do something different.
Exactly.
That's trash, man. That's trash. And don't try to pull a black card with that, because that's trash. Because you missing the whole point of
why they doing it.
Yeah. So that's trash. I just start off with that. Did anyone else have anything they wanted to say about Stephen A. Smith?
Fuck him.
Fuck him. I listened to that whole little thing back, and Max be caving, dog. Max be trying.
Max be trying to hold it down.
And Molly actually checked him, which is weird.
Yeah.
They normally cut her off, so
right. She was getting irritated during that because they wouldn't let her talk anyways. But it was just like you said, you can't bring that. Hey, I'm cool with you. I understand that you don't want to get sick, but I don't understand what we thought would damn near be impossible to do now. If you told any black person at the beginning of this year that we will have a whole bunch of white people on our side to try to help us change this shit, everybody and their mom, you can place a bet. Everybody in mind, like, man, you out your fucking mind.
Exactly.
Ain't no way in hell. If somebody came to you and said, what side would you be on if we was able to get a big enough platform or enough people to be like, hey, Black Lives Matter versus the world, what side y'all gonna be on? Anybody like, oh, that ain't gonna never happen. Now we're here. It's happening. It's happening. And you want to wash it down and tell them what they're trying to continue to not do.
Yeah.
Because you feel like they could use their basketball platform, which the NBA, we'll get there, the basketball platform to make more noise.
Yeah.
But again, it's the entire point of this message that they're trying to send, and I understand it. I devil's advocate and everything, I get it, but right now is like the perfect time.
It is.
We might not have another chance.
Okay, now with that being said, I'm gonna say one more thing to Stephen A. Smith, and then we can go on with our I just thought about that.
Program.
We can go back on. Yes, back on script. Also, you're not slick. I know really why you want basketball back. And I can't blame you. If I worked for ESPN, exactly, I might have that exact same position. If my job was covering the NBA, you're not exclusive, Stephen. I won't discredit you that. I won't do like you and just lie to make a point. Because you be doing a lot for ESPN, but you know basketball is your bread and butter. That's where you really cook and sauce up. I know you want it back. I know you must have something to talk about. But look, everybody ain't gonna have the same opinion. There's a lot of different ways to get to the same point. So just, hey, check yourself. Check yourself, brother. Okay. More details on that Kyrie Irving story so y'all can get a better understanding of the whole picture, and we can give our opinions on it as well. So on Friday night this past week, he made a plea to players to make a stand and sit out the season. Since that call, a coalition of players, including Avery Bradley, along with Kyrie, they're like the co-leaders at this point. They said they believe they have a responsibility to take on a leading role in exploring answers and solutions for fellow players the group believes to be justifiably reluctant to speak for themselves. They want an examination of the NBA's plan to restart the season in Orlando. And they said that they are taking an expanded role in organizing player conference calls in the past week because they believe they're providing that voice to the players. They want to pursue some concerns further with the league, including the investment of resources and ideas of all league constituencies, from the commissioner's office, ownership level, management, and the Players Association in social justice reform. Michelle Roberts, who is the NBA PA, she said that it's not a question of play or not play. It's a question of, does playing again harm a movement that we absolutely unequivocally embrace? And then whether our play can, in fact, highlight, encourage, and enhance this movement. Yeah. That's what they're talking about. They're not fighting about it. They're talking about it. So, some network did publish a piece about this, ESPN, calling Kyrie a disruptor. That's how they framed the article. So I like that Michelle kind of came out and was like, ain't nobody fighting. Ain't no. Exactly. We just talking. We just talking. Want to know what y'all think?
First of all, I just want to say that 100 people on a single Zoom call sounds like the seventh circle of hell.
Yeah,
I swear.
I don't know. Like, I guess when this first came out, it just sounded like they didn't really have any aims. Like they didn't. I guess leading with Kyrie just saying we might not play. This seems fishy that like we need to. That this is like institutional racism and we need to not play. And it's like, I'm not really sure how A and B leads to C. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't flushed out enough. Like today they've put Avery Bradley out front more, it seems like.
Which is
he's
smart.
Able to kind of speak
more to what they're aiming to do.
Yeah.
And I think it's admirable. Like, I mean, either way, it was admirable because like they're all basically saying like we don't want to take attention away from what's really important.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know that in that video that we put out that week that we didn't record, I was saying that this isn't a time for distractions. Like it's a time to lock in. It's a time to focus.
Yeah.
So I didn't disagree with it. I just wasn't sure how like that was a net benefit to the movement to just like completely blow up the NBA, because canceling this season doesn't just mean, oh, we'll get back at it in October or December. Like it means that the CBA is basically going to be dissolved, and like that messes up the money for a generation at least of players. You know what I mean? Like, because like trying to negotiate a new CBA during a pandemic where you have like limited income from fans and stuff like that isn't really a route that you want to take. But if they're using this as like a bargaining, like if they're using this to create leverage to bargain for the things that they're calling for, like I say go for it. And like if they're not willing to put their money where their mouth is, then it may be worth it to like they are showing you who they are if they're not willing to invest in the things that you want invested in. So like that may make it an untenable situation. So I say go for it, and use that as the ultimate hammer, like to get what you need to push the stuff through.
Yeah, and like I said, like I can understand the position that Kyrie and the Players Coalition are taking. Like I get it. Me personally, I think that you can do something special while playing at the same time. I don't think it has to be an either or. I think you can do, one or the other. I also think that if every player is not comfortable with doing that, like if some players were like, I don't want to go down to Orlando, like say Kyrie, for example, like I'm not going to be hooping no ways. Like I don't like if he was like I don't want to go, I wouldn't be like, oh my god, like be a good teammate or
exactly.
Like
didn't he say he wanted to go?
Yeah, before all this, he was saying like I wouldn't. Yeah, can I just go down there and kick
also
it?
part of the problem too. Like he's a vice president on the Players Association, and he voted through the proposal.
Exactly.
It didn't bring up any of this, and then once it got ratified, then he came back and like started organizing conference calls, and it's like, well, where's this energy like before we actually voted to approve this thing? Like
negotiations.
When the reports came out, like I was confused too because I was like, I thought it seemed like everything was good. I thought everybody agreed on everything, but
exactly.
But to Eric's point too, like using this as leverage for the NBA to do more, I'm not mad at that either.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not mad at that either. I definitely agree.
And it seems like they're for sure about to do a lot.
Yeah.
Because Adam Silver already put out the statement saying like, hey, we want what y'all want. Like we will find different ways and avenues to show social reform throughout our platform. So
yeah.
And truth be told, if there's any organization that I believe will stand behind their players like that, it would be the NBA.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
So I feel like whatever negotiation tactic, like you were saying, you can do both. You can play, and you can still protest, and you can put your money where your mouth is. It's just so on Stephen A's end, the financial ramifications for this, like Eric alluded to, is just or explained, it's a big domino effect.
Yeah,
like that's just other players, like the generational money, but their current money too.
Can I throw some numbers at you real quick while you peruse your next point? Because I'm about to enhance your. Hold on. The players are already losing an estimated $300 million in salary, and terminating the rest of the season would cost another 25% of salary, with owners exercising the force. I don't know how to say that. Major provision. That's on top of losing an additional 10% that's held in escrow that would be lost to the league. So the players could stand to lose $1.2 billion total in salary this season, which could lead to the CBA having like opting out early, and it could lead to some back negotiations.
Yeah.
The players
point out that's $1.2 billion of mostly black wealth that's being eliminated.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like it you just have to be smart about it.
Well, the issue is if you're trying to negotiate any kind of money during this pandemic, you're going to use maybe projected money, but everything's going to be a lot lower because of what's going on right now.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I know. So it's like either way it goes, you still going to get shafted later. Like I understand the whole stance. I truly do. But at the end of the day, I mean, you feed your family with this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so you can make a choice. Like you said, put your money where your mouth is, sure. But you can play, and you can use that money for organizations. You can use that for lawyer fees and bail bonds and all of that. Like, you can still do that. Like, y'all been doing it.
Yeah, right.
It's not like it's just now there is a bigger audience there. I mean, there's a bigger group here that can enhance that for you as well. Like, it's just not us no more.
Yeah,
I can understand if it was only us, and this was our chance to just only Black people.
Yeah. But
because we have the other side with us as well, they're also carrying a big load too.
Yeah.
These reforms are coming through the legislation. Trump signed an executive order today for police reform. Like, they're helping carry.
It's a little light.
There.
It was light.
You said what?
It was.
It's a little light, but it's something.
I hear you. But
if they could figure something out, I'm sure it'll be good for, you know what I'm saying, for both parties.
For both, yeah. Because Avery Bradley's point was like, yeah, we understand like our money can help, but why should it only be our money? Why should it only be players' money? Why can't the league put some money up too? And that's a super, like, yes, the league should definitely be putting some money up and definitely putting through reform. So I hope, the NBA, y'all can do something really special. Just period. The league.
Yeah, I was just going to point out that, I mean, all the like television shows and movies and all that stuff that was slated to come out this fall, like they will be shooting like now or earlier. So like we won't have like, even if NFL comes back, like it'll still just be NFL and NBA. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like so there'll still be like a spotlight on like a higher spotlight on.
That's true.
On like the NBA, like when they do come back, especially since they'll be like the first major sport to return most likely. So like they can use like their broadcast to amplify the message that's being put out in the streets. Yeah. So like you said, it doesn't have to be either or, it can be both. But I do like now that I kind of see like what their plan is, because at first it was like Dwight Howard coming out and saying we just need unity and we need, you know, like like he ain't say anything. He's just like, man, I don't want to play, you know, like I mean, like he said it like around some black shit, but it didn't really make sense. Yeah. And it's like, okay, eradicating like systemic racism, like that's not something that you can accomplish overnight, like, over the next 5 months. Yeah, exactly. You know? So it's like, are you prepared to like just dissolve the NBA in perpetuity and devote all your lives to social justice? Like, no, so you still have to look at like your future and the future health of like your industry. So,
and one more thing, Stephen A. Smith. I know I said I was done with Stephen A. Smith.
She keep coming back in like Uncle Phil.
Another thing.
Another thing.
The NBA is different, fam. It's different. It's not like a black person didn't want to go to work at Pop Copy or to McDonald's. Like, they have a huge spotlight. Like, NBA players are different. If they want to boycott, that's a whole different statement than somebody who work at McDonald's being like, I ain't going to work because of racism. Like,
hey, I'll be truthful. I ain't going to work because of racism on Friday. Already. Happy Juneteenth Day, everybody.
Hey, for sure. We're gonna talk about Juneteenth too. But yeah, that's where the NBA is at with that right now. There has been some news that's come out with like the 24th of June is the deadline for players to say if they plan to play or not play in the Orlando restart. Details on hotel rooms have come out. I have never been to Disney. I don't know which rooms are.
Yeah, I haven't been to Disney. I've been to Orlando, but I haven't been to Disney.
Yeah, like
me neither. I've been to MGM University.
I do want to point out, just I keep saying that, but Camille, just to piggyback on your point about the deadline to say if you're playing or not. Like they're saying nobody will be penalized. Well, they'll be penalized because they won't get their game checks, but there won't be any repercussions like blackballing from the league or you know like losing your contract or anything like that. Like it's just like you just won't get paid for the games that you don't play.
Oh, okay.
So if you decide you want to stay home for COVID, you decide you want to stay home because you want to keep protesting, like that's on you. You just won't get paid for it.
Okay.
They call it
I think it's fair.
Absence from work. They give them that.
Like a leave of absence.
Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, that's interesting. Is the freaking MLS is going to be at the same hotel? I mean, at Orlando as well. I didn't even know that. The MLS players and the NBA players are both going to be in Orlando.
Oh, I see. They're trying to get that COVID.
Man.
Yeah, because I think the MLS players just got there sometime this week or next week or something like that. Like the MLS players will be arriving soon, and the NBA players will come after. I was like, come on, bro.
Florida's COVID numbers are looking kind of crazy.
On the
right now.
trying to get them COVID numbers up.
They spiked.
I saw somebody point out that actually, like the Orlando area's numbers haven't gone up considerably. It's other areas in the state that are becoming more hotspots. But
like Miami,
like Orlando's, Miami for real.
Yeah,
like Orlando's numbers have always been much lower than the rest of the states.
Yeah,
while they are increasing, it's not at the same rate as like you said
the
like
rest of the state
or the rest of the state.
Mostly Miami. Everybody takes
that's
trips there.
Yeah, I know somebody who just left Miami. Like
I do too.
Motherfuckers out here kicking it, bro. Like ain't shit
too.
popping. Like no, the virus ain't went nowhere.
Yeah,
it ain't went nowhere.
That's the thing. Like people think that because like the stay-at-home order got lifted, that meant that the pandemic was over, and it's not. Like
they just wanted to get the money back.
They hadn't even they really hadn't even stabilized the numbers. Like it just
exactly.
Slightly slowed the rate down a little bit.
And people protested
from the protests, and then get their money back.
Yeah. Real quick about the NBA's plan, though. Dr. Fauci.
Tucci.
That's what I was thinking of when I was saying it. I was thinking of Tucci.
Bang bang.
I'm calling him Fauci from now on. But he actually said that he was supportive of the NBA's restart plan and that he thought it was very creative and that quote, I think they might very well be quite successful with it. That was a difficult sentence. They really wanted to make sure the safety of players was paramount. So, end quote. But yeah, he go ahead.
I was just gonna say one more thing about the hotels. So they've assigned the hotels for the NBA teams, and they've done it by seating. So I don't know if this is because of like the nicer hotels or
it is
or the closer hotels or what. But
so I was Googling it. The hotel that the Bucks and the Lakers that top tier is in is the newest and maybe nicest hotel in all of Disney World.
Oh, okay.
But if you don't want to say it's the nicest, they said it's the newest.
Okay.
Yeah. So and it's also
that's good.
About 10 minutes away from the ESPN Worldwide of Sports with no traffic. It's the closest of all the locations.
They're trying to give all kind of advantages out here, ain't they?
Hey, man.
Yeah,
they don't get home court advantage anymore, so
right.
You need something.
Wait. Bucks Center asked the Blazers if anyone would like to willing to trade rooms. Oh, I guess he out here trying to.
Robin Lopez.
Yeah, he's trying to.
Switch hotels.
Yeah, he wants to stay where someone else is staying at.
Oh, you trying?
Well, they know Disney, so more likely. I mean,
he's trying to get to what he know.
Exactly. I mean, I'm looking through all the pictures though. The hotels all look
nice.
I
mean,
but
they're not gonna put NBA players up in a day's in. Like
the one that Robin Lopez is trying to get traded into is the Yacht Club, which is part of the boardwalk outside of Epcot.
He's trying to get out here.
You don't realize that you can't leave there.
He's trying to get out here, bro.
You're close to Epcot, like just right.
No, he got Marauders mat.
Let's move forward.
No good and shit.
I want to I wish Ken was here because I want to technical foul eyes this conversation. But can you just imagine what these hotels are going to be like? Like how many Instagram chicks they gonna try to sneak in?
Oh, they're definitely planning to fly chicks.
Gotta try.
It's gonna be wild.
Before the families start getting there, because the families can't come till the first week of the playoffs, I think.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the first pretty much 2 months.
They said that consider the players celibate for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
It's like
right. Sure. Okay. If you want to put it that way, it sounds good.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
I'll let hire none of your beautiful, all of the beautiful hotel, the little local chicks that's supposed to be working there, keep them out. Keep them out.
No, they the ones first calling. Like, hey, let me get my shift. I'm working overtime.
Oh, you know how many applications finna get put in?
Man, they'll go through all the COVID testing to work in them hotels, and it ain't just women. Like men groupies who just want to be on the plane. That's supposed to be a hot destination for
number of applications Disney's finna get. It's finna be astronomical.
That's a fact.
It's people who already work there who are like, we got tenure. Y'all ain't worried about these applications.
I sweep the floor. No. We've been sweeping floors.
We good, fam. We good.
I've heard, like, Tim is probably gonna go off the rail with this one, but like I've heard that like the Olympic villages, like where all the athletes stay during the Olympics, like that's just one big ass orgy, like the entire time. Like they just keep fully stocked condoms like in there, like the entire time.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So I'm imagining like they'll try to turn the campus environment into something like that.
They're gonna turn any spot like that into.
Hey man, we got a lot to talk about. We got to move on, fam. We got to go. My bad. The WNBA announced on Monday that in agreement with the Players Union, they plan to have a 22-game regular season starting in late July. They're finalizing their agreement with IMG Academy, also in Florida. Bradenton. I'm not sure what part of Florida that's
just
in.
outside of Orlando.
Okay. They'll host all the games there, including the postseason in October. WNBA will not be making any changes to their playoff format, so it still will be a single elimination game for the first and second rounds, and then a 5-game series for the semifinals and the finals. We talked about this a little bit last week, but the union voted to accept the proposal. About 77% of the players voted in favor of it. And I think, as they pointed out, a key element of the proposal that the players were like, for sure. They get 100% of their salaries, despite playing 22 games instead of the original 36.
No, that's for sure. For sure, right on.
And we talked about back in January, they had their new CBA, which was great. The WNBA has some good momentum right now. The players' lodging would include multi-room villas, which would have kitchens and hotel rooms. Players with children will be allowed to bring them along with a caretaker. All players with at least 5 years experience can bring in a +1, like a spouse or significant other, to stay on site for the season. But they'll just have to pay for that person's lodging, testing, and meals, which seems like a fair deal.
Yeah.
And then once in the playoffs, all players would be allowed to bring in a +1. And there also will be a provision for players to opt out of the season if they are medically certified as high risk, if they were to contract the virus. And these players would still get their full salary.
No.
Other players could still opt out for other reasons without penalty, but they wouldn't receive a check. And WNBA players have to let their teams know by the 25th of June if they plan to play. So shout out to the WNBA for seeming to get that done. That players coalition that we talked about also includes WNBA players as well. So the Hoopers are working together.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Let's talk about NASCAR, which is something
That's the first time that's ever been done on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's talk about NASCAR. Talking about things you wouldn't believe would be happening.
Boy, the world burned that day.
First, they released a video that featured its drivers speaking directly to the camera, imploring their fans to understand that when it comes to understanding the plight of Black folks in America, if you are not Black, the best method is to shut up.
Please.
Right on, NASCAR. Right on.
They came out like, look, we know y'all racist as shit, so here we go. We're gonna fuck some shit up, kid, and you either gonna get with or you gonna get gone now. We ain't gonna play with you.
And then Bubba Wallace, who is the NASCAR Cup Series only Black driver, with such a NASCAR name, Bubba Wallace.
Bubba, bro.
Bubba wore a Black Lives Matter shirt on the track before the race. And then NASCAR's president spoke to everybody. Nice little speech saying that the sport needed to do better. The country had to be better. We got to listen. We got to understand. And that speech was given over the radios at the track and nationally televised. And they also had a 30-second moment of silence. And then you even had a Black NASCAR official taking a knee and holding a fist up in the air during the invocation, and then Bubba was like, hey, y'all should probably get rid of the Confederate flags too. And then NASCAR was like,
hey, get them shits out of here.
They said, okay. We'll get rid of it.
No,
It's going to
that's
be it's banned at all events and properties. Don't bring that in here no more.
Please.
One driver did quit because of this decision.
Bitch ass.
That motherfucker never won anyways, bro. Don't give a fuck. The
He was
sport
a
won't miss
perennial
him.
loser. Yeah.
He was
perennial
there,
loser.
bro. He was fodder.
Yeah.
NASCAR truck racer, race. I can't even say his name. Cicerelli.
It don't matter.
It's close enough.
They really don't.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Cracker, that's his last name. Ray Cracker.
And of course, you had some Southern fans crying about how it was a violation of their heritage.
That's my right. Shut your ass up.
Of their heritage.
I get so tired of hearing that the Confederate flag is heritage. Losers shouldn't be able to fly a flag, fam.
Yeah,
Y'all caught the L. Like, y'all shouldn't be able to keep having the flag.
Like, let's see what your heritage is. Your heritage is losing and slavery. That's what your heritage is.
Supreme racism. Like, that's 3 L's, bro. 3 strikes, you out.
Yeah, man.
And warm weather. That's what y'all got right now. That's not what y'all
That's the
cling
only
on
plus,
to,
y'all.
man. Don't cling on to that. Let that flag go. Let that flag go.
Didn't Bubba say he was gonna have his car painted Black
did.
Lives Matter on it?
He did. It was
Yeah.
actually pretty clean. It was pretty clean. He had a Black Lives Matter themed car. And I don't know if y'all saw this, but a competitor driver came with a Blue Lives Matter car in a race recently.
Come on, man.
So at Sunday's race, another driver, Kyle Weatherman, he debuted a Back the Blue car.
Is it? Okay.
And you know what his stupid ass said?
Tell him what he
He
said.
said, and I quote, "A lot going on in the world right now, and I wanted to express that most first responders are good people. My uncle is a firefighter, and he would do anything to save lives. Since fucking when does Blue Lives Matter have to do with a fucking firefighter?
And your
Other
uncle
first
probably white.
responders.
He saved all the white people that you seen. Anyway,
I mean, that tweet is real where it's like, nobody got a problem with the fire department. Nobody's saying F the
no,
fire. Like, ain't no
exactly.
songs about that. Like,
Come on, man.
it's the reason we said the police for all these years.
he couldn't even
They
defend.
don't
He
get
couldn't.
it.
He didn't believe his own argument.
He did. He knew as he tweeted that.
Bullshit, yeah.
As he tweeted that, he had to be like, I hope they dumb enough to let me get this off.
Just deleted it, boss. And shut the fuck up.
Yeah, man.
My uncle's a firefighter, and he would do anything to save lives. That got nothing to do with nothing that we're talking about.
Exactly. That has nothing to do with that. He's not on the when they pull somebody over on the street like, well, you fired.
Pull you over with a hose.
Like the fire department is out here like selectively putting out fires.
Right, like, oh, it's a black house? No, we ain't coming to this house.
Exactly. It has nothing to do with anything.
Firefighters is the only first responders that actually come on time. Everybody else don't show the fuck up.
That's a fact.
Oh, that's a fact.
Thing that they don't
That's a
know, like,
fact.
shit, we call 9. That's why we also don't call the police, because them niggas ain't gonna show up until like 2 hours later anyway.
I had to
They
call
ain't
the
gonna do
cops.
shit, and then they gonna arrest you for
I
calling them.
had to call the cops once for a dispute when I was younger, and I was thinking to myself, like, how can I get them to come to the hood as quick as possible? While I'm on the phone, I'm trying to like make the situation heighten. Like, please come. Like, I know y'all normally take your time, but
I'm from
I need some-
Waukesha, and I'm stuck on 3rd, 9th, and Clark. There's people, and I don't feel safe.
oh my god, I'm on 16th and Keith, and I
They were like, ma'am, can you walk a couple blocks before you show up to there?
that's why we don't have with the police.
Burline's not that far away.
Man.
It has more lights.
Get out of here talking about some firefighter, fire uncle. Ooh, I almost said something, but we recording, so I'm gonna just suck that one back in. Pause.
Whoa,
Good pause.
person.
Hey,
No, that's a great ball.
as I was saying it, it was too late to change the sentence without it being worse.
I'm already yelling. Might as well.
I had to let that just go. The Premier League actually announced on Friday that it's going to be supporting players' wishes to print the sentence "Black Lives Matter" on their jerseys if they wanted to, and if they want to take a knee, hey, we cool with that too. So I actually saw some of the prints of the Black Lives Matter jerseys.
There were some that were removing the players. They said they was going to remove the player names and just keep it Black Lives Matter.
Yep, that's how the back looks. It's no players.
Name.
Yeah, it's no player name. It's just Black Lives Matter on the back.
It's been so much. Like, it's a lot of players in the league that's been dealing with racism for a long time, especially over there, bro. They wild as fuck over there, dog.
Racism and colorism
wow,
is a worldwide
crazy
problem.
racist over there. I mean, it's crazy all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, they be having to deal with that shit. They be going to these stadiums when these crazy big ass crowds, they be throwing shit at them and shit like that. Like, yeah, it'd be wild. Tipping buses.
Throw shit like fucking bananas at them and call them monkeys.
Yep.
That's the type
like
of
they
racism
don't give a fuck, bro. Like, it's bad.
Yeah.
Shout out to Premier League for doing that. The Premier League's clubs are also, Tim, I know you dropped this one in there, so I'm gonna pass this on to you.
I gotta find the dot. Hold on, let me pull it up.
That's why I'm queuing you up, fam.
What's up?
You didn't even have to announce it. People didn't have to know.
Yeah, she was throwing it
I
out
had
there
your back. I had your back, fam. The Premier League clubs. Go ahead.
No, I was vamping for time, but I was just gonna say that does underscore your point from earlier that this is a worldwide thing. It isn't just a U.S. thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you brought them, I forgot they be throwing bananas at players.
Yeah, bro. Bro, they be surrounding them and shit like that. Like, motherfuckers getting hit in the middle of games and getting called off kind of shit, bro. Like, refs.
Like, they do chants. Like, you know how, like, they do soccer chants? Like, they'll be singing, like, some racist shit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's wow.
Yeah, the Premier League clubs, they have turned to online dating methods in the transfer market. I read that sentence and I said, I don't know what that means. So, Tim, what's up?
So, sorry, one last thing about European soccer crowds. Like, they will ban fans if they get too unruly. Like, they'll just be like, no fans are going to be in the stadium for these games. Just to kind of reiterate, like, how bad, like, the fans can be in Europe. Yeah.
They be coming in droves, like, bro.
Huh?
I said they be coming in droves, bro, like 20 deep.
Wow.
Like a whole stadium.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like each separate group come like, hey, you know, they got their ruffians over here, you got their ruffians over there, bro, and then they all just collectively, like gangs of New York style, bro. It's terrible.
Tim just adding some flavor onto your point. It don't directly correlate, but he's adding some flavor. That's all.
But anyway, dating, online dating.
Yeah, online dating and a transfer. Is the transfer market like a free agency type of thing?
So pretty much there's a transfer window. So like it's off season, but it's not an off season. So they have a transfer window when the season is over, and they'll have one in the middle of the season. And you can transfer windows, you can buy players, trade players, whatever the case may be. So yeah, it's the window where player acquisition is allowed. So it's typically a lot of face-to-face meetings. You got to call an agent, this, that, and the third. What they've done is cut out the middleman and the agent, and they set up. They're using this dating app that allows you. It's pretty much like speed dating. So they set up the rooms, and they got all the teams because now they're talking directly to the teams as opposed to talking to the agent, and they're talking to the players because you have to negotiate the salary with the agent and the player, and you have to negotiate the buyout of the player from the club. So even if the player agrees to your salary, the club like, nah, you got to give me more money for him, and then go talk to him about his money.
Okay.
So what they're doing is they're cutting out the agent and they're talking directly to the club first. So that gets the deal done. That way they can go talk to the player later. Like, hey, we'll work it out as long as we can get him. We'll work out his salary because we already know what he kind of wants. Yeah. So they're setting up these dating apps. So every 10 minutes you're talking to a new club or a new player, and so they have a pool of players that's available, and then they'll set the rooms up, and then you have 10 minutes to work out a deal. And then
I'll tell you something. Coronavirus has made people get real creative.
I swear.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. Like that sounds like that's how they should operate going forward.
I would love to watch that. How many players can I get? But I was like, that's interesting. I'm like, that sounds. Let me throw that in here. I'm like, that sounds real. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Granted, I don't know how this stuff works, but cutting out the agent just makes it seem like it's easier to screw over a player.
Well, no, because they still got to talk about the salary, though. So
this is more like
a big snafu is the buyout from the club as opposed to the salary from the player, because the player already agreed to go. He's just because it's a lot of agreements that it's pretty much have to be mutual for clubs in order to lose a player.
Wait, so I thought this was more so like cutting out the agents, but more so for like the players and the ownership to like talk, not necessarily make the deal. Yeah, correct. And then the agent still comes in to do
To
the
negotiate the actual.
Yeah.
Correct. They still come in on the
Okay.
back end, but this just gets a lot of the other the foo, the fluff, and all of that crap out the way. They just go straight to business.
Okay.
Makes sense.
All right. No, I saw it because the NFL, they didn't do anything bad necessarily, but it's just like when I talk about them, I'm like, man, like, all right, NFL. Last week we talked about the video they released, affirming Black Lives Matter and condemning racism, and not saying exactly that they silenced players, but that they were sorry. We said we wanted to see some action before we believed anything. The league's done a couple things since last week. First, the NFL plans to increase its social justice footprint by pledging to donate $250 million over a 10-year period. So that commitment actually is an extension, and it expands the initial deal the owners struck with the Players Coalition a couple years ago when all the Kaepernick stuff was going on. And they said that would have likely surpassed $100 million on its own terms. So they pretty much just kind of doubled down on what they were doing. Like, let's add some more money on top of that. The additional funds are intended to, quote, combat systematic racism and support the battle against the ongoing and historic injustices faced by African Americans, end quote. The NFL is committed to collaborating with players to determine new paths forward in support of programs to adjust criminal justice reform, police reform, and economic and educational advancement of underprivileged communities. To this end, the NFL intends to leverage its media properties, including NFL Films and NFL Network, to increase the awareness of social justice issues. Very curious as how they'll use those two entities to do that.
Yeah, and the NFL Films specifically.
Yeah, like we've talked about, NFL Films is top notch. So I'm
shoot the protest.
Right, like what y'all gonna do?
Slow mo. Bootin in slow mo.
It's gonna be cold outside. They're gonna have a protest when it's cold, and so you can see the air from their mouth form. Yeah, you got to see the air like it's cold, like it's an ice bowl or something. But yeah, the NFL has already donated $44 million to fund social justice work during the first 2+ seasons or so with this initial agreement. Nationally, they've awarded grants to 20 organizations, and additionally, they have funded 350 grassroots programs. So they were doing a little something in the back the whole time.
Keyword little.
That's why I said look like little something, like some
Little something.
44. Like
we know how much y'all pull
money,
in.
44 million is a lot, but it's a drop in the bucket for like
Right.
the amount of money that they bring in.
Exactly.
That shit just fell off their
Yeah,
pocket.
44
They
million
were
is
like, oh, shit, you can have
damn near
this.
what they owe Kaepernick.
Low key.
Yeah,
Oh, shit,
that's just
my
all.
bad.
That's just what they had already had donated in that initial, agreement.
2 years. That's
Over the last 2 years, 44 million. How much does Roger Goodell make a year again?
44 million.
Like I'm sure it's around. I'm gonna Google that. Hold on. The NFL also said this is another thing that they did. They're going to start recognizing Juneteenth as a holiday starting this year. I think that is tight that more people are starting to recognize Juneteenth. I saw even in Milwaukee County, it's going to be a floating holiday for employees going forward. That's tight. But I also hope that people understand why Juneteenth is important.
Yeah, exactly.
And that, like, if the NFL as a entity was such, power behind it, I would hope that on Juneteenth they put something out.
Please.
One, Roger Goodell signed a 5-year, $200 million contract. So
he makes
if he meets incentives. So,
okay.
But up to $200 million. Also, like the Juneteenth Day stuff, like it's a step in the right direction, but it feels like so many companies and entities are like, stumbling over themselves to try to put out stuff that we've been asking for forever.
Come on now.
Like, so it's like you heard us, you just ignored it for forever. You know what I mean? Like what can we do to pacify it? You know what I mean? Like, oh, y'all can kneel now. It's okay.
Yeah.
And we'll say Black Lives Matter because, y'all wanted us to for forever. And Juneteenth Day, we can recognize that. But it's like, no, just stop having cops kill us. Like, that's what we asked for. You know what I mean? Like, like
I don't need no Black Lives Matter street.
None of that, fam.
Granted, that was
work on the
beautiful.
reform.
That was beautiful.
Just work.
That was
No, the
beautiful.
artwork. I'm talking about like they're going around and they're renaming streets like
Yeah.
black, like how we have MLK Drive. Like they have like Black Matter, like Black Lives Matter
Yeah.
Boulevard. Like
I don't need all that. I just need.
I don't
at
want
least to
that.
start
I didn't
shooting
ask
back
for
to
I
that.
them.
go visit that motherfucker,
Yeah,
bro. I don't
fix-
need that shit.
Fix
I'm
Flint's
still gonna
water.
be here.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
Stop killing black people in the streets. Defund the police.
Man,
Mind your fucking business.
educate
Reparations
yourself.
on the real, son.
Educate yourself
Educate
on racism
yourself, yeah.
and how it's impacted our system. Like, first of all, I think that should be first thing. People who feel bad, like they need to learn. Like, there's a lot of learning required here. If you have been ignoring all of this
That's a
for
fact.
all of this time. A lot of books, I'm not going to start recommending them because y'all can find
y'all know,
work.
they know where it's at.
we've been telling y'all about these books for a while. Y'all saw when our timelines was all the new Jim Crow. Y'all didn't care.
Y'all didn't care.
Y'all didn't care. I'm not trying to hear it. Anyways. Yeah, Juneteenth is coming. In case people don't know, Juneteenth is celebration of the ending of slavery in the United States, although it's like 2 years after Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. That is when,
so fucked up,
isn't it? It took 2 years for Union soldiers to land in Texas to be like, hey, the Civil War is over and y'all free. All right.
2 years.
I mean, I guess
that
stuff
happened
works
a
slower.
long time ago, bro. Like, what?
Y'all been free. Y'all been free.
Right.
2 years, bro? 2 years? You know how many times I tried to run off this motherfucker in 2 years?
On the real.
I could have been
I could have been gone for free.
I'd have been happy, but I'd have been pissed.
Which is crazy because Juneteenth is definitely a beautiful day, but it also makes me kind of sad because I'd be like, dang, like they were sitting there 2 years later, like, okay, yeah, we free. But then they still weren't really free. Like, it was a lot more stuff that they had to go through. Like, it wasn't like as cut dry as like,
Yeah, it wasn't like, okay, y'all can leave now.
yeah, slavery's over. Go
And
on,
also,
do
if
your
you free
thing.
somebody that's been, well, I ain't gonna go.
Woo! No, they ain't ready for that. Hey.
I ain't gonna.
That's too deep.
They not ready for that. They ain't ready for that. But apparently Roger Goodell is ready for Kaepernick to play in the NFL. Speaking of things,
Again, giving us shit that we asked for a long ass time ago.
Like, dog.
Fuck, dude.
Dog.
hey,
No.
Goodell did say he was sorry for not listening to what the players were saying.
He encourages teams to look at Kaepernick. Like, get the fuck out of here.
I
dog.
feel like Martin, that episode with the little boy, like,
Oh, yeah.
"Sorry, I lied to you, Martin.
ain't lying
I
to you,
didn't want
Martin.
to go to
You just wanna go to
Arizona." That's how Roger Goodell sounded. Like, shut
Oh
up.
my God. Okay. So we're not ungrateful, but at the same time, it's like, what
More.
the fuck?
God.
It's like,
More.
what the fuck?
No, the price of business has gone up. Had y'all
Yeah.
listened when we first
Exactly.
said it, then maybe we would have been cool. But now y'all didn't listen, and now we want more. Run the check.
On the
We
real.
want more.
There's interest. There's interest.
There's interest involved
That's a
now.
fact. That's a
We
fact.
want more.
Here's wild. Here's what they could do. It's 42 million African Americans in the United States. Let's just round it up to say 50 million, right? You know how easy and dropping a bucket it would be for somebody to give every African American in America $1 million? 50 million of us.
Do you know how big that number is? I'm just kidding. Like you went with a
Listen.
real big number for everybody.
Just hear me out. Just hear me out.
Okay, go ahead, Tim.
No, hear me out.
You know how big
I'm
that
gonna
number
get-
is?
Think about this. No, think about this like this. Think about it like this. We've just read off numbers of cats getting 44 million, 200 million.
That, you do it.
It's only 50 million of us. How easy would it have been a while ago? I hear you on the number, but just to throw that out there, as much as they throw around money and shit, it ain't shit to give everybody. I hear you. I know inflation
Hey,
and
look.
markets, but I'm just saying, just take that point of it would be that easy.
Look, hey, I'm not mad at reparations either.
Hey, man,
but,
I'm not mad
but
at getting $1 million.
But I'm not mad at the idea of getting $1 million.
It ain't shit to them, though. Think about it. It ain't
But
shit to them.
It is though. No, it is going to be to them if it's for us.
I mean, I hear
That is a big problem.
the market inflating and motherfuckers don't know how to act with money and all of that shit. I hear all of that. I thought about all of that. I'm just thinking about it as simply as like, damn, it really could have been that simple for them if the niggas would want to just do that shit.
Yeah.
Man, I multiplied 50.
I didn't even get it.
I multiplied 50 million by 1 million, and Google just said 5E plus 13, fam.
Why?
I want to know what the number would be. You know, I can't even comprehend how big that number is.
There's 50 million people. But I said there's 42 million. It'd be a big number.
You rounded up, fam. You didn't round down.
I hear you, but
no, like I said, yeah.
It's 50 trillion for the FY.
Oh, it's trillion?
Yeah.
It's easy. They just gave out 3 of them.
The government ain't pulling out no $50 trillion for us. You out your mind.
You know what? I fuck with it though. Like start high and they miss in the middle.
Right. All right, we'll give all y'all $500K. No, not just one time. But we'll start there.
You know what?
It's more.
You're right. Well, I ain't gonna sell I'm not gonna tell y'all my real number on this show.
Right.
The asking price is $1 million a pop. That's the asking price. I don't feel like even having.
I mean, shit. Like we couldn't even get that 1,200. Like they ain't coming out.
We've had the conversation too many times though about how we feel about Cap coming back. At this point in 2020, if Cap gets signed, he's going to be signed as a backup quarterback. Mm-hmm. I guess that's better than nothing. Injuries happen, but the thing that I keep thinking about like is, will a team sign Cap before Cam Newton? Because Cam's just on the market and Cam been playing. You know what I mean? Like,
if a team signs Cap before Cam, they are idiots, is what I would say. From a football perspective, because Cam is the younger of the two. Cam is the most recent in the league of the two.
Like, you have the most recent game footage of Cam Newton.
I mean, yeah, but he's also
the higher
still
peak of the two.
But we ain't at no peaks right now.
No, I'm just saying, like, the body of work is stronger for Cam than.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And MVP, went to the Super Bowl.
Body of work.
I don't know what Cam is asking for. So, like,
Cam
that
wants
might.
To be a star. Yeah, that's valid. Cam wants to start. Cam will end up in, like, New England or something random. And we're going to be like, wait, what?
That's the only place that makes sense for him at this point.
I can see him as a backup in Cleveland.
He's not trying to be no backup.
He's not going to back up Baker Mayfield.
That's disrespectful.
I think he'll beat him out. That's why I think he would beat him out. Plus, they're on the short leash now. They ain't Baker on the short leash now. He done told everybody else to fuck off too. Him and JJ Watt.
Hey, JJ Watt's fans was hurt. They was like, "You're not going to kneel, right?"
America's been burning, bro.
JJ said, "Hey, fam."
He was like, "I saw what they did to Drew Brees."
On the
real. You know what? Let's go to the radio. I don't think I put it in. Let's go to the radio right now before we talk about what a mess. Baseball. Actually, go ahead, cue it all up, dude. We're gonna get this out because we talked about how much of a mess MLB was last week. Saturday night, the MLB PA put out the statement, pretty much said like, "Yo, we done negotiating. Y'all just tell us when you want us to show up, and we'll be there. We over it. Just tell us, and we'll show up.
We there.
Tell us by Monday where we got to be. What it looking like." Before they said that though, the commissioner was like, 100%. Yes, I believe we're going to have a season. The players came out and said, "Tell us where we got to be," and then the commissioner said, "I'm not sure we're going to have a season."
Most likely, no. It's like 6 to 8 owners said they don't want to have a season right now.
So
that's the thing. Like that's why they kept like negotiating like the way that they were because they weren't negotiating in good faith because they weren't trying to have a season.
They were not, and it shows again that they were not. It's not in the interest of the players, and fairness is only for them. Like they are looking out for them, and the players see that shit. It's more prevalent now than anything, and the world actually sees that shit. They see how dirty these motherfuckers with money is now. Like it is really getting, which is weird because we've always known that a lot of motherfuckers with money dirty as a bitch. For some reason, America like, Like, yes, nigga, these snakes.
Right.
They've been slithering. That's how they got their millions. Most of the time, most millionaires done fuck somebody over to get their millions. So I'm like, bro.
Most millionaires, every billionaire.
Yeah.
Every billionaire. Fuck millions probably over.
Yeah. And I get the players being like, look, we understand y'all gonna lose money, but y'all be making money that we don't get to touch. Y'all money ain't got to do it with my money. Exactly. I want to get paid to play baseball. Yep. And also, the league is definitely stalling because they don't want to play that many games.
At all.
But, like, I mean, like, the basic tenet of capitalism and business is, like, as a business owner, you assume risk. Like, these companies, like, just don't want to take an L for a year. You know what I mean? Like, which, I mean, I get it from a selfish standpoint, but it's like you guys try to fuck up the rules so that you can, like, fatten up, like, when times are good and then, like, have zero risk whatsoever when times are bad. Like,
and leave me out to dry, bro. Like, it's just trash, bro. Yeah. Like, it's trash. Like, y'all got it to help cats. Y'all got it to help cats just wade in the water. But no, you don't let them drown. You ain't even baptize them. You just let them go.
Hey, you know what the real gag is? A lot of them billionaires are only rich on paper.
Yeah,
that's why they press it so hard. Yeah, they only rich on paper. Yeah, like that's why they be pressing. They really actually living check to check on the low. Mm-hmm. It just look good because they got all these investments and
all the assets
and assets, but they cash for it.
Just like us.
How you look like?
Like, I might have more cash on hand than
But yeah, baseball, we don't know if we're going to get a season. The players came out and said that their statement after that was, quote, players are disgusted that after Rob Manfred unequivocally told players and fans that there would be 100% be a 2020 season, he has decided to go back on his word and is now threatening to cancel the entire season. And then they go on about how it ain't us, it's them. And then the MLB was like, it's them.
I was gonna say, you see how they tried to finesse it though. Like, they probably know all along that they ain't want to play this season, but they've been negotiating with the players to make them look greedy.
Yeah.
Get the fans on their side.
Out. Yeah.
Twitter was trying to burn them down, and all of a sudden they see all of this stuff now. It's like, bro, no. And again, like I said, it's getting exposed too.
Because now casual fans are like, wait, the players just said tell us when and where.
Yeah.
And then y'all said might not be no. How do we get?
Wait, so are y'all arguing, or are y'all just what's going on here?
Hey, are we gonna get the
hardcore? Yes. The super
and they playing themselves.
Like, cut the shit.
That's the thing, though. Baseball don't have a super hardcore fans as much anymore, so like they're really just exposing like how like disposable they are. You know what I mean? Like it's like if you keep shitting on your fans to the point where like people don't even care whether you come back or not, like that's gonna be bad for when you do want to go back.
Exactly.
And I will say before we go on to the radio that the only thing I should say the only thing about baseball, because like I do enjoy watching I enjoy watching my team, but like coronavirus has made me regret us not doing our annual Davis tailgate last year, because now we ain't getting one this year. And I just need a 1 year off, fam. I need a 1 year off from the responsibility of hosting and organizing. And now look, Corona. Now I'm salty. I'm salty.
Camille, the Zoom tailgate.
Yeah.
For the Bucks and players.
Zoom tailgate.
Everybody just grill at their crib. You turn on Zoom.
Turn the Zoom on.
I ain't got no grill, so I gotta go to Davis's.
Hey, I don't care, man. Wear a mask. Come on, fam.
Come on through.
Fam, put on a mask. I'm at a point. Hey, wear the mask. Stay 6 feet away. We all right, fam.
Yeah.
Don't touch nothing.
Yeah, we'll disinfect. I'll get you some hand sanitizer. We'll work that out.
Listen, just give me a shower of Lysol. I'm good.
I can do that. Although Lysol is in high demand, I might not want to waste it on just spraying. Like,
that's fine.
I hear you.
Okay.
Wipes.
Facts.
I can't even find wipes. That shit infuriating.
I be trying to make my own. Like it's rough out here, fam.
Like I just be thinking all them times I went to Target, they just had like a whole shelf. I just grabbed a bunch.
Yeah.
I just got back to work. He came in with like a 16 pack of wipes. I was like, yep, let me see those.
Man.
Look,
I be tempted
incriminate
to at work
yourself.
too. On the
I'm
real.
gonna say I might have douche bleep this out, but I might see how much you charge on that. Oh, if you can see a couple out for us.
I'm like, yep. Let me get those.
Yeah.
That was my boss, so we good.
But let's not talk more about this while we record. We can talk about that afterwards. Radio.
Off mic.
Right off mic. We'll talk deals later. This normally can't.
Oh yeah.
Do one of y'all want to be Ken, or should I just take it?
Go ahead.
Can one of y'all explain what the radio segment is?
We'll give him a clean cut this
You got it, sis.
All right. I've been talking a lot. I'm trying to get a water break. Y'all niggas ain't helping me out. Woo. All right. If you are new here, what? What's that sound effect? Chill out. If you are new here, right? If you are new here, the radio segment is a weekly segment where we play music that is done by an athlete in some way, some form, some fashion. Whether they sang it, they were rapping, they produced it, some form. We highlight that music. We do it like a real radio station. We got a drop and everything. Tim is our DJ. DJ, give it to me. And right now we're about to go into our backstage production meeting where we discuss what the song will be for the week and how we're going to go live on air. So, fellas, this week's song comes from IMAN.
Is it Iman or Iman? Or is it Iman?
Iman? Wait, it's weird saying his name without saying his full name.
Yeah.
If you say it without
Jumper.
the last name, it's a little conundrum. I'm with you, Tim. I hear what you're saying. Iman Shumpert. Tim, he's been doing music for some years now. So this week we're gonna play his single. It's entitled "Elaborate." Now, I'm not sure if you listened to it beforehand, Tim, or if this is gonna be a fresh listen.
No, I just heard the intro.
Would you like to go live on air with the music playing as you talk, or would you like to talk and then cue in when the music begins?
Now go ahead and start the music.
All right. Eric, will you count us down to go live on air?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
WTECK Radio 69.9 FM, where 69 is fine.
WTECK.
That's how it starts.
That's how it goes, man. You said you played the beginning.
I did, but I forgot it's like a pause, and I forgot that it's WTECK Radio 69.9, 69, and it's fine. This is Iman.
Elaborate. A lot of decisions I make are absent of strategies. I promised my younger self I would never be mad at me. I'd defy gravity, even if it cost me the casualty. Release you a masterpiece and go to rap from the league passionately. Well, that's what Granny said. Creatively floating through the stroke of a pen. I speak in cursive. If they heard it, they deserve what they get. Oh, the nerve of this shit to be impervious to the waves that I send. A sturdy event, blurring they vision like the fog in eclipse.
I didn't expect him to be this kind of rapper.
Breaking the law and going to get it massaged when it's stiff. You're
Yeah,
talking about
congratulations to him though, like having another kid.
And plus I do
That's tight.
I seen that.
with this shit. So here I am laying alone.
They are a beautiful couple.
They are.
Like they both
family.
Yeah, they all just look good together. Tiana Taylor and Iman Shumpert.
Oh, yeah.
Couple of dogs master tree when they smoke their cigars.
Oh, speaking of Tiana Taylor, because they was somebody was talking about dance battle. I was like, look, between Tiana Taylor and Sierra, they was like, who you think is in between Tiana Taylor and Sierra? I'm like, dude, Tiana, I love Sierra, but Tiana would light her up.
You said who would light her up?
Tiana's a different level dancer. Like I would put Tiana against Chris Brown. Type of, like she that cool. I love Sierra, I fuck with her, but I don't. There's not too many motherfuckers I line up plus Chris Brown, but she's definitely one of them.
Hey, you a dancing nigga, so you the authority.
You trust his opinion.
Hey, I trust his opinion here. I'm not gonna argue that at all. Like Sierra be dancing. Tiana Taylor be dancing too. I don't. Yeah. Hey, you the authority here, man.
Yeah.
While this play, we can talk about what WWE does. You can just turn it down a little bit. It's all right. It's a nice little flow. It's all bars. Like that's bar.
Exactly.
Like he tried to spit, which I did not expect. WWE Backlash took place this past weekend. It was headlined by the greatest wrestling match ever. I'm not saying that. That's what they called the match before it even started. The greatest wrestling match ever. That's how they were advertising this match between Randy Orton and Edge in 2020. This is greatest wrestling match ever. Now, I will say I didn't take that seriously at all because wrestling in itself is just like it's exaggeration and et cetera, et cetera. Vince knows the numbers are struggling. As a promoter, he was like, hey, what can I do to try to make someone tune in? I'm going to call this the greatest wrestling match ever. With some wrestlers that people who haven't tuned in know. Like everybody, like if you watch wrestling within,
20 years?
Yeah. Edge and Randy Orton will ring a bell. Like the names are familiar enough. We're like, okay, there's some familiarity there. I know, Eric, you didn't watch it. You just said it was this weekend. Tim, I know you watched, so I'm going to just say some things they did. So prior to the bout beginning, Tom Phillips said there's going to be some like unique production techniques that occur with the match to add to the experience. Some of the things that they did, they amplified the crowd noise, which did help tremendously. You forget how much you need a crowd with wrestling sometimes. After going this long without, like you shadow little crowds. Hearing a crowd again was like, oh.
Right, oh, is that a pop?
that move was cold. They also had the classic Madison Square Garden mic hanging from the center of the ring that you could see. They used Howard Finkel's voice to announce the introductions. And then the referee, Charles Robinson, who's one of my favorite referees. Blonde, floppy hair, dude.
Floppy hair. No, that was we called him floppy hair, dog. That motherfucker be in the background. Somebody hit a move, his hair flying.
His hair flying. You're like, oh, hair be flying.
You always do it, bro. Like I remember when I pointed it out one time when I first recognized it, I was like, you see the ref in the background? Like every time he hit a move, he'd be in the background flopping and shit. I'm like, damn, ref.
He'd be excited, like, ooh.
Like the black ref in that boxing match.
Exactly, the white version. He was out there wearing the old school, like the light blue referee shirt and the bow tie like they used to wear back when we was kids and stuff. And honestly, it was a really good match. They wrestled for like 45 minutes. Fam, they was doing rock bottoms and moves that didn't belong to them. They was doing everything.
Everything. It was beautiful.
That's
but it
funny.
like the wild part about that match is I feel like for each 5 to 7 minute segment was a different style of match.
Yep, it was like a different story throughout. Yep.
Yeah, it changed up the cadence, the flow, like how they for each set, and you could really look at that match and see different segments of the match. And I was like, dog. I was like, and as I kept watching, I'm like, so I told Sam, I was like, for damn sure, if you don't believe this was the greatest match ever, we're gonna keep wrestling until y'all motherfuckers like, all right,
it's all right here.
Y'all wrestling. Okay.
I'm like, damn.
And anyway, they was wrestling. Yeah. It was wrestling.
It was a good fucking match, bro. When he came out of nowhere with that rock bottom, I was like, what rock bottom?
It didn't make sense. I was confused, and it made the match so good. I was like, wait.
Did he tag team with the Rock? Was he?
Oh, this was so unexpected.
It was dope. It was dope.
What's funny, I made this joke to your wife, Tim. I said, isn't it kind of funny that Randy Orton gets a career resurgence once he acknowledges that Black Lives Matter? You see how easy life is when you let go of racism.
Come on, man.
Thank you.
You can flourish a little bit more.
Like literally today, I was like, dude, Randy Orton has regained my fandom. I'm like, because he's wrestling like
he's
one
been
of the
doing
best in the business, like truly.
Since
and
WrestleMania.
He's back in the main, since WrestleMania. Since he's been feuding with Edge, really. He's catapulted himself right back into the mainstream as a top guy. I could see him take a title, and I wouldn't be mad at it now. But
which is weird because he's old, and we thought we were done with this, but
we did. But he's making us believe.
He's entertaining right now, and even before I knew I was sitting there like, dang, I hate to say Randy Orton, but now I feel good about saying it because
he's like, you know what, I was wrong. I was wrong. Like, thank you, because I hated you after that.
Like we said earlier, we're gonna need some interest, but welcome to the team, sir.
Yeah.
Edge also during the recording of that match, he tore his triceps.
Mm-hmm.
So he's already had surgery. He's already back home and rehabbing. But normal plans for someone like Edge would be to come back around SummerSlam But with this surgery, he probably won't be back until late fall, winter time. So,
truth be told, though, I was surprised Edge put on that good of a match at this age, at this point with the surgeries and shit too. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like
he's still fluid.
He's really keeping up.
He's fluid, yeah. And I wasn't watching wrestling during Edge's like peak run when he was the Rated. Yeah, the mayor's always talking about like you don't know what you were missing with the Rated R Superstar. But yeah, it's cool to see him. It's cool to see him getting some. It's a catchy theme song, but I don't know if I like it that much, to be honest with you. It's all right. So, like I said,
I think it just won best theme song in like this poll that me and Sam was following. There was a big wrestling account, and they had a poll
that's completely false.
Yeah, and she was mad because Sexy Boy didn't win because she feels like Sexy Boy is the greatest wrestling theme song of all time.
I mean, we've done that top 5, so I'm not going to say what I think it is in case I contradict myself. We did that a long time ago. My opinion might have changed.
True. I mean, opinions are open to change. Like, I still fuck with Chris Benoit music, though. And, you know, people, after watching the doc, niggas really don't fuck with him. But, you know, it's still my favorite song.
I mean, Tim changed his opinion in the same sentence.
Man,
so, you know.
I'm open to changing my opinion with new facts.
Are presented. I am open-minded. Thank you.
I'm fluid.
Hey, watch that. That meant a couple different things, brother.
Take that back.
Yeah.
I'm open.
He's walking the tightrope.
Never mind. Let's go keep on rolling past that. What's next?
Good job. Good job.
What's next? I will talking about wrestling. That's right.
No, we're gonna talk. We good. We good with wrestling. We good with wrestling. They got they shine. Good match, Edge. I'm gonna say Edge and Christian. Good match, Edge and Randy Orton. Promoter Eddie Hearn says that rival world heavyweight champions Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury have agreed to the basics of a deal to fight 2 times in 2021. Reason that fight is a big deal is that it would set the stage for a unified heavyweight championship for the first time in over 20 years. Thing is, ain't no contract signed yet, but they verbally agreed. I believe that they will have this fight. But they both also have title defenses before 2021. So Fury's going to have to beat Wilder again to retain his title. And then I forget who Joshua's competition is, but he has a fight as well. So they both have to win to set up what they're hoping to do in 2021. We'll see what happens.
That was interesting. I thought it was dope that they did too, though, because I'm like the first.
Because they know the loser's going to want a rematch.
Yeah. Right, run it back.
Run it back. You know that's in there. Yeah. That's fair. And also, like that's going to be one of the biggest fights in all of England to ever. You got 2 English boxers. Like it's big for boxing, period, because it can unify the heavyweight titles. But like in England, that's going to be that's going to be crazy. Might see some racism pop up with that. Because England is.
Do you guys say Mike?
He said you don't have to say Mike.
5 minutes.
You don't have to say Mike.
All right. NBA superstar LeBron James and a group of other prominent Black athletes entertainers are starting a new group aimed at protecting African American voting rights. The organization is called More Than a Vote, and it's going to be partly aimed at inspiring African Americans to register and to cast a ballot in November. But as the name suggests, LeBron and everybody else who's on the roster, they plan to go well beyond just get out the vote efforts. LeBron said, quote, "Yes, we want you to go out and vote, but we're also going to give you the tutorial. We're going to give you the background of how to vote and what they're trying to do, the other side, to stop you from voting," end quote. That's something that we've mentioned on this show before. They don't want us to vote. Like, and also with this, I don't want anybody to hear this and think like we about to be saying like, yeah, go out and vote and just vote. Like we've mentioned before, there's a lot of different lanes to get to where we're trying to get to.
Yeah, exactly.
We got to occupy a few at a time. We got to vote too. We got to do it at all different levels. So I'm really happy to see that they're doing this. Yeah, George Floyd was the tipping point for LeBron, where he really thought like we got to get out and do something more than what we've been doing.
Yeah.
And also the Georgia election, Georgia primaries last week too, where
for real?
people, like there were super long lines. Like,
Yep. I think like the last voter voted at like after midnight or something like that in Georgia.
Yeah.
It was like 12:30 or something.
That's wild. Like,
That's crazy.
That's wild, bro.
They try to discourage you. Who want to stand in the line that long?
Exactly.
They've been doing
In
this
the
since
middle
they
of a
told us.
pandemic.
Exactly.
You pull up and you see that line, you're like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
They've been doing this to us since they told us we could vote.
Man.
They just keep changing how they
on the real. Keep moving.
Yeah, they just keep
moving the goalposts.
Let's do a little gerrymandering and let's reorganize these districts real quick and
right. We gotta get the right mayor in there so he can appoint the right DA. So he can
let's
go
make sure that
they're gonna
okay.
Just make sure you educate on who you voting for. That's
for sure. That's what they're doing. They doing get out the vote efforts. Something that Jalen Rose said, he's part of the group as well, when they were talking about how in 2016 there was such a drop off with younger Black voters, especially with men.
Yeah.
And Jalen just said, quote, "We ain't letting that happen again." End quote.
I fuck with that.
He also said that George Floyd's death is perhaps the most galvanizing killing since the lynching of Emmett Till. And I was like, that's saying something. I don't know if I agree with it, because I mean, Mike
Brown, we got Ferguson, Trayvon Martin was,
but
like still is. Thank you. I guess it's different. Like that's
because it was
major
right after that.
It was what? Yeah, no. I mean, I'm saying like he's like a public figure though, like just a random like.
Yeah, that's fair.
A random person.
Normal person.
I guess.
Yeah.
Normal person.
Rodney King.
Yeah, I guess not random, but a normal celebrity person.
Yeah.
A non-famous person.
And Rodney King.
Rodney King for sure had the streets.
They was fucking shit up.
In fact, Martin Lawrence posted the clip from "You So Crazy" where he was doing the Rodney King jokes about the looting and the rioting recently when the looting and rioting was going on, because he was kind of like, I guess the joke still worked.
It does.
We've been saying the same stuff. My God.
I was like, any white people that got Black friends have heard us complain at least about how we live, the police, where we work, or some shit like that. And all we got was hope it gets better for you, buddy. Ain't like I never heard this shit before. We've been telling y'all this shit. Y'all thought we was making shit up. No, exaggerating this shit.
Last thing I'm gonna say about the voting efforts that they're doing, because I thought this was really this was key. Because I know some people, like I had friends who we even argued with back in 2016 who didn't want to vote. Draymond said that he didn't vote in the 2016 presidential election. Quote, "I didn't vote because I was just thinking our vote don't matter. We've seen several people in the popular vote, they get that, they don't win. So our vote don't matter. But when you look at the voting numbers, a lot of young people didn't turn out, myself being one of them, and especially a lot of young African-American people. And it's taken me to get educated to understand how important it is for us to exercise our right to vote and not listen to the garbage that's being put out there and giving us all these false reasons that we can't vote."
Yeah.
End quote. I thought that was just worth actually saying.
I mean, I don't want to shame Draymond, but I don't know how you can look at Trump being one of the options and be like, no, I'm good. I'll leave this up to everybody else.
Yeah, and Hillary only lost Michigan by I think
she won the popular though.
But she only lost that by 10,000 votes or something like that to get the electoral votes.
Yeah.
Anywho, I ain't gonna bring up 2016 too much more because it makes my head hurt.
Yeah.
Did you see what Corbett said? Did you see what Kyle Corbett said?
Yeah, he said he's staying with his black brothers.
Oh, that's what
my black brothers.
He said, if y'all don't want to play, I ain't playing. I don't. Hey, whatever y'all want to do,
I'm with y'all.
I'm with it. Whatever y'all want. I was like, man. I was out here marching. Come on, Kyle. You know what's funny? We talked about Kyle Corbett coming to Milwaukee. We said it would be perfect.
Brothers.
Mm-hmm. No, it was it would be perfect for him. He get the suburbs, you're a white man, you get the all. And he came here and it helped. I mean, he was already kind of on a racial and social justice awakening before he got to Milwaukee, but I bet him coming here and seeing some stuff the way we got it should have had him go. Yeah, but Atlanta's different than Milwaukee. Like, you know that.
Atlanta for a grip.
You know how different Milwaukee and Atlanta is, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm saying he was around us because he was in Atlanta.
But he didn't really start. He actually wrote a piece about this, I want to say last year sometime, about how while being around black players, he didn't really not take stock in the issues, but he didn't learn more about them until like recently, where he was like, whoa, like white people, we got to say more. Like we got to do more. Like the U.S. Soccer Board repealed their stand for anthem policy. They put that policy in play when what's her name, Megan Rapinoe kneeled to show like she was with Colin, and they were like, nope, we ain't gonna have that no more. New policy. Y'all got to stand. And now they said, we gonna take that back. We gonna take that back.
Everybody just like,
that's so crazy,
isn't it?
You think
the interest is going up, people?
Remember, because she got into it with Trump.
Yeah, man, Trump don't like her at all. The U.S. Soccer Board said, quote, "We have not done enough to listen." You know what? I'm not going to read this quote because it's the same quote that we've been hearing about not listening. So they didn't know, blah, blah, blah. They apologize and they going to do better to get rid of racism. We going to do something else. Yeah. I ain't trying to hear just a statement. Former Clemson players DeAndre Hopkins and Deshaun Watson, my boys, and others, they petitioned the university, to remove the name of John C. Calhoun, who's a slave owner, from the school's honors college. Clemson University did indeed change the name. It is now the Clemson University Honors College. See how easy that was?
So easy.
You could have just named after school the whole goddamn time.
It's so easy.
Like, dog, y'all know the history of these motherfuckers, and yet and still y'all just like, yeah, that's because ain't nobody call you out. Oh no, we've been calling you out on that shit. Now your people calling you out on that shit.
Your own people, yeah, exactly.
These motherfuckers been raising hell over. You see, they try to fish the statue out the water.
Did they?
Yeah, they had knocked over the statue. What state they was in, but they had toppled over a General Lee, I believe, statue, and like into the river or some shit. Who was it?
Christopher Columbus.
Oh, Columbus.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then after they knocked it over, some motherfuckers came over and started trying to fish it out. Motherfuckers laughing at them and shit. I'm like, dog, y'all don't really care about these damn statues. Like, these figures ain't shit.
At all.
That's ain't shit. Like, Lootin and Bootin, all of these motherfuckers.
Lootin and Bootin.
The thing is, like, people don't even pay attention to these damn statues until somebody try to take it down.
Exactly.
Facts.
Or go read Christopher Columbus' diary when he said that he could take advantage of these people. He said it himself.
Tim, now you got Lootin and Bootin stuck in my head to the rhythm of
Suited and Booted.
Yeah,
was that name of it? Tooted and Booted. Tooted and Booted.
Young YG, Tooted and Booted.
YG and Ty Dolla $ign.
But they was super young. Okay,
that was my shit.
We just a couple more things before we get into the top 5, unless you got some blow the whistles.
Bro, what the fuck is this? Kyrie Irving proposes that players start their own league.
That's why you had to put Avery Bradley
exactly
in front. Because Kyrie
Let's start. Kyrie Irving lobbied for NBA players to skip the bubble and propose that they can start their own league instead.
Oh, here we go.
You can't let a nigga who think the earth is flat lead the revolution.
Yeah, man.
Yahoo Sports, by the way.
See, that's why their misstep was letting Kyrie and Dwight Howard be the faces of it out the gate. Like that, like even like me, like my visceral reaction was, I'm not following them niggas anywhere.
Yeah,
like, if that's the path to liberation, I'll take the scenic route.
On the real.
We've been on that scenic route all this time anyways. We don't know nothing else.
Right.
Whew, that's so sad. The Denver Broncos agreed to a multi-year deal with FanDuel to make that sportbook the official sports betting and daily fantasy football partner. You're going to see more of those coming to the NFL since the NFL said, yeah, y'all can start doing deals with sport books.
It's wild to me that people are like conducting business as usual during these times.
Yeah, they still getting these deals off. Actually, I saw MLB actually just re-up with, I think it was Turner on a $1 billion broadcast deal. So
EA and Madden. I mean, not EA. EA and NFL for Madden just re-up too.
Yeah. That contract was up. I'm mad they did that, but whatever.
I'm pissed. Anyways.
Yeah, we're going to end it with, I put all this together, NFL injuries, transactions, and personnel news. We just going to cover all that in one fell swoop.
We're just going to call this NFL shit.
Yeah. All right. Woo, I'm tired, y'all. I've been working this episode now.
Hey, you're doing a fantastic
I'm tired,
job.
boss.
I am tired. What time is it? 8:30? Ooh, Jesus.
Hey, we get back to your water and a nice massage or something. But you almost
How long we been recording so far?
Hour 39.
That's it? All right.
I'm not going to tell you what you sound like right now, Camille, because it's inappropriate, but just know.
Woo, child. I sound like
Should
my
be up
mom.
there
That's
for
what I
like 30
sound,
seconds, be like, that's it. I'm tired.
So true. That's so true. We be so tired. I'm so tired. Anyway. Anywho. NFL injury, transactions, personnel news, all under one bubble. Philadelphia Eagles standout right guard Brandon Brooks tore his Achilles.
Friend of the pod.
Shout out to Brandon Brooks. We wish you a speedy recovery. Yeah. He got injured while he was rehabbing from his shoulder surgery, so that's a blow, man. But we rocking with you. We sending love. We know you're gonna come back stronger. Do your thing, man. NFL MVP Lamar Jackson. He's okay, y'all. A video had came out of him playing. He okay. Let me say that first. He okay. Video had came out of him playing football on the beach. And he put them jets on them niggas, fam. He took off. He couldn't slow down. And he fell over a parked jet ski and went head first. I don't know if y'all saw this video.
I'm like, damn.
No, but I'm about to look it up.
I'm definitely about to look it up
into the water. But he was not. Fam, when he took off, because he's looking to pass and he was looking and he like, all right, I ain't got it. I'm gonna just take off. I knew at that point, first of all, nobody's gonna be able to catch him. NFL players can't catch him. Ain't no way the beach crew about to do nothing. And then he was too fast for his own good and tripped and fell over a parked object. Like, you too good, man. You too good. You can't be out here playing.
Sometimes, you can't control your speed sometimes. I hear you.
We just glad you ain't hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
We just glad you ain't hurt, fam. Stay healthy,
man.
Have a
need better
season.
He need better cameraman because I couldn't see shit. Like, he was shaking him up.
They're trying to keep up. They couldn't keep up. Too quick.
Oh, but that reminds me of the time we were playing street football and like this dude threw like a beautiful pass and somebody was on like an out route and like they caught it and like, you know, like in like the crouch position and like ran smack into a car. Like, it was like,
that happened to me.
I'm not going. That's happened to me as well. I was playing football at recess. That's what I did with the boys. I was on defense, man.
I used to play indoor flag, and that happened to me on I did a skinny post, burnt that nigga. But when the ball landed, so was it's an indoor, so it's like the indoor soccer, so it has the walls around it. Right into the motherfucker. Landed boom.
See, mine happened at my old grade school, and what happened was I was on defense. I was like, yeah, let's go, lock up. I was out there yelling like prime time. I was out there talking prime time. Let's go. It was a fly route. I was only following the ball because I was determined that I was gonna come up with that interception.
So you weren't looking at your surroundings?
I wasn't looking at nothing. Next thing I know was I had the ball in my hand and there was a pole right there.
Oh, shit.
And I was on the ground. But guess who did not drop that football? Your girl. She held on. She held on. We got that NO. Hey,
we got that touchdown, B. High five.
High five through the zone. For sure. Bang on. The 49ers, they signed their head coach, Kyle Shanahan, to a multi-year extension.
More
The
deals.
6-year contract replaces the 3 years remaining on his deal and ties him with the 49ers through the 2025 season. It makes Shanahan one of the NFL's top 5 highest paid coaches. I also want to point out that Shanahan did speak openly and passionately, apparently, about race earlier this month, saying that it's embarrassing for the NFL to only have 3 black head coaches and 2 black general managers. Very true. Keep talking to your...
We've been saying this. Rooney Rule. What the fuck?
Pipelines.
We ain't new to this. We true to this, my nigga. Like, fuck.
Exactly.
All right. We already did blow the whistle. So let's do the Tech Top 5. Dooch, you going to enjoy this one.
5, 4, 3, 2,
1. Tech Top 5.
Last week, we did Best Frozen Treats. We didn't get that many votes, if I remember correctly. I couldn't even tell you who won the poll in the Facebook group. I want to say it was either... I don't know.
It was tied at 2 when I saw.
Yeah, I was like, they didn't care about no frozen desserts.
Frozen treats.
Yeah, they didn't care about the frozen treats. I didn't get no votes like I knew I wouldn't. The moment I said banana popsicles, I knew my list was thrown out.
Hate banana.
But that's okay. That's okay.
Sounds like a euphemism in retrospect. It was tied. I think me and Ken. Who had strawberry shortcake, cookies and cream, ice cream sandwich.
That's a Tim list.
Oh, Chipwick.
No, the Chipwich.
Dairy
No, the
Queen.
Chipwich was
That was Ken.
that
right?
was Ken.
Yeah, so we tied at 3.
Yeah.
I'll take it. He ain't here.
This hey, you know, y'all gonna share this. I'm gonna get my guy gonna have this win. He need a win this week. He gonna have a win this week too, man. My guy gonna have a win this week too. This week though, today as we were recording, it is Tupac's birthday. We are doing our Tech Top 5 favorite Tupac songs.
Oh, okay.
Tim.
Okay. Number 5. I will. Actually, I'm gonna flip flop my shit. So, number 5, I'm gonna do Ambitious as a writer. Ambitions as a writer. My bad. Number 4, I'm gonna go with How Do You Want It.
Damn,
Number 3.
So many. Pause.
It is.
Number 3 for me is Do for Love.
I like that song.
Love that song. Love that.
It's a great sample.
Number 2, I got California Love, and number 1 is I Get Around.
On brand.
That's a good list.
On
I'm
brand.
gonna tell y'all off rip, like it's gonna be all singles. So 5 Hail Mary, 5 Hail Mary, 4 I Get Around, 3 Changes, 2 How Do You Want It, and 1 California Love.
Changes
All right,
got on
so-
my nerves.
What did?
Changes when it came out, it was so big that you heard it all the time, bro.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'd be like, skip. I can't.
I'm like, come on, bro.
Skip.
That's a
But it
balance.
was everywhere. It was. Everywhere.
It was a huge. It's a huge song. It's a powerful song. Another song that's also still true.
No, come on, man.
Yeah.
My list. So I have to preface this by saying, because I've had some Tupac slander on this show before, so I need to preface this by saying my views and opinions on Tupac as an artist remain the same. I think he is one of the most influential, most important voices to ever grace rap.
I will agree.
That being said, he also put out a lot of music.
Yeah.
Okay. And everything went on 10 for 10. That's all I'm gonna say. But
Sometimes it's
but I
bored in
have-
the basement.
Hey, listen, I love Prince, but I can say Prince put out a lot of stuff that just wasn't good. He put out a lot of music that just was music. Like it just was there. Like hey, you a legend.
You got like 30,000 albums.
Yeah, me and my guy Derek did that for his podcast. We reviewed every album. Do you know how long it took to listen to all of those
I already
albums?
know.
And some of them were struggles to get through.
You got
A
like
man
40
had
albums.
10-minute songs.
Fam, another time. We'll talk another time. When I was going through my top 5 Tupac songs, you know, it's a lot of different types of Tupacs. Tupac's got a lot of sides.
Mm-hmm. That's what
And
I'm trying
my
to go.
favorite,
I'm trying to get a
my
little bit of
favorite
both.
side of Tupac is really the more like thoughtful, not melancholy, but like not necessarily empowering, but just more so like real. Like it's just real life. Number 5, I got Thug Mansions, the acoustic, the Nas special.
I fuck with that.
That last verse on there still gets me every single time. It sounds like a beautiful place. Not gonna lie, the chorus itself just makes me feel a certain way. Number 4, I Get Around, because that just goes. It just
man.
Tupac was spitting on some shiesty stuff at the same time. It's a lot of them. Number 3, I got Keep Your Head Up, because it's just a classic. I told Tim recently, like I heard it when stuff was really going bad a couple weeks ago, and like a single tear just fell from like that song. Still, it's beautiful. Number 2, which I'm sure will be controversial. I don't really care. I love this song, Running, because it was a chance for me to hear Pac and Biggie on the same track. And I love that. I love the chorus. I love everything. The message. I love that song. And number 1, my favorite Tupac song is So Many Tears. Because
that's on my list.
So Many Tears just... So 72, when y'all started y'all show out with that, I was like,
like that's one of my favorite songs. That's one of my favorite Tupac songs for sure.
I tuned in. I was like, we have to have an episode. They started off with So Many Tears. Let's go. The lyrics to that song.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay, that's my list. Ken did not send in his list pre-show, so we ain't got one for Ken. But Dooch, what you got for us?
Alrighty, so I'm gonna go with 5. I Get Around.
It's a classic.
4, So Many Tears. 3, I Ain't Mad at You. 2, Ambitions of a Rider, and 1, California Love.
For sure.
And the not the jazzy one, the hardcore one.
Yeah, not the. I know exactly which one you talking about. Yeah, not that one. It's like when I said Thug Mansions, I meant the acoustic.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't play me the one with the beat. I don't want to hear that one.
Not the jazz. Don't give me the jazzy one. Give me the hardcore one. The one they was in the desert.
Yeah, Pac got a lot of them. He had I like Pac. I'm not a huge Pac fan, but like when I was going through, I was like, I like more Pac songs than I even realized I like.
Yeah, because I could have put the one with Devontae on there too.
He started off like that. So to get real, yeah, Tupac got some hits. Happy birthday to Tupac. Yeah. When you listen to this, fam, I hope that you share the show too with your people.
Oh yeah, I definitely will.
Yeah. I'm talking to Tupac right now.
Okay,
listening. Happy birthday, Tupac. We hope that you're enjoying your birthday. I'll say for me. I'm not going to speak for them because I don't know if they feel like you alive too. I hope you're enjoying your birthday on the island somewhere. I hope you enjoy it. Damn, I've been telling it. After I saw Tupac in Minneapolis, fam, I'm telling you.
She will not let that die, bro. She will not let that die, dog.
Because I saw him.
We'll see that nigga.
That's funny.
We all don't look the same to me.
After I seen him in Minneapolis.
Oh, fam, you went there. You didn't see him.
Oh, man.
You went there. You went riding.
I do kind of think that he's alive, though, low key.
The mayor. You need to bring the mayor into the room.
Just because that's just some Tupac shit.
You know my husband. He is quick to call me alive. Or tell me.
Hey,
that nigga will call me out so quick. Man, listen, he wouldn't stand on that hill if he didn't see it. Trust me. I said, hey, ain't that Tupac? And Noman looked at me like how y'all looking at me.
Didn't he see him?
And then he looked, and then he actually said, like, and then I was trying to tap his friends, like, hey, don't that look like Tupac? And then he was looking at us, and then next thing I knew,
disappeared.
Was gone. Back to Prince crib.
Come on, man.
Wait, what did friends say?
Come on, man.
With Pierce. Huh? With parents.
What did friends say when you told them Tupac was there?
They looked and said, where? And then I pointed, and he was walking off.
In the night.
And y'all was on vacation?
Walking off. Huh?
Y'all was on vacation, right?
Uh-huh.
In Minneapolis, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
I think I do anything.
I was just about to say.
Y'all see Tupac on vacation. Y'all, it was one hell of a trip. That's process.
Fam, I don't know what you're talking about. We're going to
He's
show.
trying to say
I don't know
that you
what
were
you're
intoxicated. That's what he's trying to say.
Hey, whatever y'all was doing, y'all seen Tupac. It was one
No,
hell of
this
a
is
trip.
this is still back in my young drinking days. This is when I was in prime condition. Fam. The memory was sharp back then. Nowadays, anywho, that's the show this week. We hope y'all enjoyed it. We hope y'all had some laughs and you agreed. We hope that you do the Tech File Challenge. Make sure that you live tweet the show. We need to know what y'all thought about the show. Hope y'all enjoyed it. If you want to follow me on social media, you can catch me.
Wait a minute.
On Twitter, Instagram, and PSN at Camille Monet, CAMILLEMONAE. Because thank you. And really quick, before I throw off your rhythm, don't add me on Facebook. I don't know y'all. Please.
You say that almost every week now.
No, I don't say it often, but every so often, like I looked at my Facebook friend requests. I have like 40 something friend requests. Do not send me Facebook friend requests. If I don't know you, I appreciate you. That's why I'm giving you my Twitter. I'm giving you my Instagram. I'm giving you my PS. We can play video games
together.
Don't add me on Facebook.
Don't.
That's fun.
I mean, don't add me either, but
we can talk in the group. We ain't got to be friends.
Yeah.
We ain't got to be friends.
Based off how you be treating people, I don't know, bro.
Who?
I don't know. I missed the first part of that.
At
@BucksBurner on Twitter.
That's all y'all get.
Goddamn right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you want me to do mine? Everyday Dooch on all platforms.
Shout out to the 72 and 10 podcast.
Yes, thank you.
For sure.
And his Everyday Gentleman, right?
Ken.
On Instagram.
You know what? We would be better off if we could just insert him saying it from last week.
Yeah, I tried. I could do that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, like right here. Follow Ken, y'all. Follow Ken. Tim, take us home.
And it's your boy, TIMKINZ, the number 3, a.k.a. Ass Ketchum, a.k.a. Mr. Give It To Me. And if you didn't know, Tim Ken's 3 across the board. I don't think I ever said that. Anyway. C'est la vie. Oh, no. I do say la vie often. Ciao.
Ciao, Bella.
There you go. Talk to y'all next week.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.